So, here we go again with, yes, you guessed it, The Flash. This will be the episode called Memorabilia. Yes, you see, once again, they're having to go into the memories of people. Yeah. Sort of like The Matrix, but not. They've done this before, as I stipulated, back when they were going up against DeVoe and all that crap, and that's when Barry had to go save Ralph. Within DeVoe's mind and all that. So it's already established ability here, and then they revisit it once again to make use of it in the hopes that they can wake up little Grace, and that would end Cicada's reasons for all the murder he's been committing throughout the season, because he hates all meta people. Because meta powers is what he blames for the coma that little Grace finds herself in. So, going through it, Nora begins to realize that if they go through it, they might see her memories, and she doesn't want them to see her memories because then they would find out that she's been working with Thawne. So she goes in on her own and almost gets the girl out, but then, oh no, the portal disappears and she doesn't know what to do, and then she gets chased around Grace's fantasy world by her fantasy version of Cicada, and we learn that she's aware of Cicada, which is her uncle, and what he's doing, despite being in a coma, but she can hear everything and understands what's happening, and memories of him visiting her in the hospital bed and all that. Recreated there, so all that's established and everything. So this goes around. You have some other details of the show where Vibe and Ralph go to a bar, supposedly to try to follow other leads to Cicada, and this was just a trick by Ralph for Vibe to get out, Cisco to get out and meet girls, which he does. And I guess he's got a new girlfriend. So the idea that he and Caitlin might hook up, which would be the most obvious thing, but that's the way TV shows go. The most obvious couples just tend not to happen. so he meets this girl at the bar and all that. Maybe things will look up for poor Cisco. Meanwhile, back to the real story. Barry and Iris find out what Nora's done, and then they realize that she's trapped, and they got to go save her. So they go in, but instead of going into the fantasy world of Grace, they end up in the fantasy world of Nora, basically her memories, and they witness things, basically the Flash Museum in the future. And now if you look around that, they show some other characters. I don't think Dr. Light's never been on this show, but so there's little DC Comics things there. But there's also a scene where little Nora gets fussed at by her mother, and Iris is all upset and all that sort of thing. And then later they realize, well, this is just her interpretation of events, and so Barry says, hey, don't worry about it, and we're going to change time and all that stuff. And it brings back to the same problem they're facing, which they've been facing throughout the series, is that eventually they know at some point in the future Barry Allen is going to disappear. And they know because they've seen the newspaper front page story on it, and it's written by Iris. So she's the one who's going to write it. And during the show, she's had this opportunity to get some office space and start her own newspaper. And it's that paper that she would end up starting, and so she's reluctant to do it. But by the end of the show, it's revealed that the dates at which she starts it already changes the future. And the future is changing as they're going because Nora's there, which is why she's there. She's looking for a way to prevent what happens to her father that results in his disappearance. So that's the ongoing thing there, which is why she's doing this with Thawne's help. But who knows what his sinister plan is? But we'll have to wait and see. But anyway, it leaves it on a note that I'm under the impression that somehow Grace might be in control of Cicada, and it might not have been him at all. I'm not entirely certain there, But there's some good scenes. It's a standard plot about, oh, we're going into your dreams or your mind to save you, and it's, you know, but they do it all right. They've already done it before, so it's kind of like this tool that they'd have laying around from some other show. You think, wouldn't you reuse it when it's necessary? So they do. And so Grace kind of goes all Linda Blair on Nora there. So she might not be all sweet as they thought. She's irritated, and she only believes her uncle, and she doesn't trust anyone else, least of all Nora. So they can't save her, and the dark matter is in her brain, or around her brain, what have you. And it'd be too dangerous to try this again, so it didn't work. So they're going to have to try something else. But I'm not sure if that's what you're supposed to conclude from that she's connected to her uncle and may even be kind of a puppet master on a subliminal, or a subconscious rather, level. So you don't have to wait and see on that. But there you go. Not bad. There wasn't any too much cheese, which can take one out of the show, so none of that happened. It wasn't a particularly great one. Like I said, the idea wasn't all that original. So, you know, and because, like I said, I've confessed I'm biased towards this cast and what have you, so I'm going to give it 4 stars. But is it up to the level, like I keep referring to, the Time Bomb episode? No, it's not. But pretty good. And so there you go, The Flash Memorabilia. And I saw a little bit of the previews for the next episode, and I don't know, that one doesn't look great to me. But we'll have to wait and see. So there you go, The Flash, again, the only one of the CW superhero shows to watch. The rest, just don't even bother. All right, thanks for watching and listening. And hey, while you're here, like and subscribe. And check out that link description below. That'll take you to my many stores that have plenty of goodies for you.